etc. A Swingin' Safari by Bert Kaempfert. Fantastic composer. You hear his music in elevators all over the world, but I actually really enjoy it from time to time. Calle sent me a bunch of pens, and one of the pens he sent me was this. Uh-oh. I've reviewed the Hero Summer Colors. This is the Jinhao 599. The word Lamy Safari comes to mind, which is actually two words, but they did come to my mind. And guys, it's very simple. Copyright laws in China are very different, and Chinese pen makers have started to copy the very popular Lamy Safari model. You will understand that for legal reasons I will say the following. I do not condone copying behavior. Alright, so I do not condone this type of pen model, but because it was sent to me, I will review it. Alright, that was the legal bit of this video. If you want to buy it, of course, it's up to you, but this is my official position. Pen should not be copied. If there's a patent, there's a patent. Alright, the Jinhao is one of the popular Chinese brands. I've reviewed a whole bunch of their pens, and in my experience they make pretty decent, well-working, functioning, good pens, which is nice. This is Safari-like. Let's just cover the past the pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Top of the cap definitely different from the Safari. It's just a finial, fairly flat black bit. Then you have the clip, also quite different, although it does have the open bit, but it's clearly different, and it has, I think that's Jinhao logo. Yeah, it's I think it's horses. Yes, horses in a chariot. That is wasn't that the Juke logo? Anyway, these Chinese brands sometimes confuse me a little bit, but this is a Jinhao. Then you have the cap, and you have this flat end. The Hero Summer Colors actually has a rounded end on one side, but Jinhao went full out and just copied the Lamy looks. You have the ink window, and where it usually says Lamy, this one actually says Jinhao. Okay, you pop off the cap, you have the section. Yes, it is copy too, including facets and all, and in all it's a decently sized pen that does post, and it's quite light. Now, one thing that's quite different from the Safari is the nib. This is a much more traditional number 5 fountain pen nib and feed. So they don't have that Lamy folded shape. This is an actual normal size nib, which says Jinhao and 18 kgp for carat gold plating, even though the nib is not gold colored at all. You know, just saying. There's a little metal ring there, and then there is a converter, and even that is copied from the Lamy model with the two flat bits right there and the big metal ring, etc. But the nipple is a bit different. Okay, what did I think of the pen? Well, my honest opinion, it wrote fine. I did a full page of writing, didn't run dry, didn't really skip. It worked. It has a little bit of spring to it, which is kind of interesting because Lamy nibs typically do not. And that's pretty much what I like about it. I mean, it's a simple pen. You're basically buying a Safari model. Having said that, it's light, it's easy to carry. I say again, if you want to buy this, I would probably buy a Safari. They are made of ABS, they are very strong material, whereas this plastic I'm pretty sure I can crack. But if you absolutely need to buy a Chinese replica of a pen, then I guess this is what you could buy. And again, that's all I'll say about it. Would I recommend buying this pen? Well, I would say again that for legal reasons my answer is no. You should buy a Safari, but as an interesting pen, it writes, it has a bit more spring than a Safari, and it's fascinating. Finally, you cannot convert this to an eyedropper. I know people always like that when it's a plastic barrel, but these are actually holes. There's no plastic covering them. So that's it. A couple of measurements. The weight is 16 grams. Capped, the length is 138.4 millimeters. Uncapped, 129.4. Posted, it's about 160 millimeters. Section diameter is 9.1 to 11.2 millimeters, and the barrel from flat end to flat end is 9.9 to 10.2 on the non-flat end. Hope this was useful. Calle, thanks for sending me this pen. I think we need to do a writing sample next. That's what I'm doing now. And I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Jinhao 599. The nib is fine, and the ink is Diamine Apple Glory. I'm experimenting a little bit with nib angle there, because for me this is a natural position to hold the pen in, and as you can see the nib rotates a little bit away from the paper then, and this being a round nib, that gives issues. I'll do some fast writing. I will say the nib is pretty smooth though, which is nice. Alright, wetness. Well, I don't really have any complaints there. I wouldn't say this is a gusher of a nib, but it's definitely not dry. Line variation. As you can see, you can squeeze some out, but the feed also gives out pretty quickly. If you go slow though, and I suppose prime the feed a little bit with some ink, you can probably squeeze out a bit of line variation. Alright, reverse writing. The nib goes from a fine / medium to, I would say, an extra fine, but it also runs dry very, very quickly. So that's probably not a very advisable thing to do. Alright. Calle, thanks for sending me these pens. I appreciate it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.